Welcome. Today we have Heidi Young with us. She is the Executive Vice President for Marketing and Business Development at ampliFI Loyalty Solutions. Heidi has been advising businesses on marketing and loyalty programs for more than 17 years and is here today to discuss the keys to designing great loyalty programs. Heidi, welcome and thank you for spending time today with today's Bankers Digest.
Thanks, Larry. It's so good to talk with you, and I look forward to talking about my favorite topic of loyalty. So thanks for having me.
Good. Okay, let's get started. So Heidi, as you know, for years, credit card issuers, airlines, and hotels have had loyalty programs. Now it seems like every business has a loyalty program. Given the proliferation of these programs, Heidi, what are the trends that you see that can differentiate loyalty programs?
Yeah, it's so true. You know, every industry has really caught on to what started with credit cards, which was loyalty works, and really can be a driver to bring those spending trends back to your product. So the way we're looking at it, and the way I see it, is that you really have to kind of reinvent it. You have to take a new and fresh approach. The programs of the old days, that we all sort of cringe thinking about toasters and blenders for redemptions, it's changed so much. So having a program that really meets your consumer where they expect these programs to be, having something with real-time type of redemptions, with a lot of selections available, something that, sort of shops along with them, just having creative and unique ways of approaching loyalty is what's going to set the program apart. It's time to kind of take a fresh look and think of it from your own consumer standpoint of, do you use your own financial institution's card? And if you don't, why not? And if the answer is because you get better rewards somewhere else, then it's definitely time to kind of take a fresh look and think about it from a consumer lens of how do you improve the program? How do you bring in new and unique items into the program? And that could be on how they earn the points. So thinking beyond the product of just a single line product into more of the whole entire relationship, but also sort of that experience of being able to redeem for something that's really motivating.
Good. Thank you, Heidi. Your point about the fresh look is really appealing. And, as you know, and maybe this is part of the fresh look, is that nearly everybody today carries a cell phone. They take it with them everywhere. I can't leave the house, or do anything without my cell phone. So how do you see the smartphone impacting loyalty programs?
Yeah, I think it really gives us a good opportunity to sort of, again, change that dynamic into kind of reinventing it. Instead of like a strategy where the consumer is coming in to redeem for points or coming in to see what the value is, it gives us a great opportunity to sort of push the program out to them. I would like to sort of phrase it as, we can sort of serve up the program to them. So if I'm a consumer and I am in a loyalty program, I use my card, what a great option to actually get an alert on my phone that says, hey, you just spent, $25 at this retailer. Would you like to use points to redeem that? Right. To cover the cost of that. It covers two things. One, it's a great form of just touching base and marketing, almost a thank you for using that card. But right. It also gives them a great opportunity to bring the value or see the value of the program. So you're sort of serving it up instead of waiting for them to come and get it. So we refer to it as kind of a push strategy. How can we be in front of that consumer as they're using the product in a literally real-time way where, as soon as I use my card, I get that alert, and it's a pleasant alert, right? It's a good alert about redeeming points versus right. The fraud alerts, which are important too, to make sure that the transactions are good. But this is a kind of a proactive alert to say, hey, we value your business. Thanks for using our card, and you have a chance to use your points.
Great. Well, thank you, Heidi. I can see where the smartphone could really be a game changer. Yeah. We people have always talked and one of the best practices has always been to really measure the marketing programs that you're doing to see what their impact are. So, with the smartphone adding the opportunity for additional data in that work. So when you're working with clients and developing loyalty programs, what measurements of success do you see as most important?
Yeah, so I think, again, this is another opportunity where things have evolved over the years. And so when we're working with clients now, it's really about sort of data-driven decisions. We want to make sure that the decisions are based on results, or the data behind the product, not just a one decision for everyone, and not a decision based on
Right.
what someone down the street is doing from a competitive standpoint. We want to make sure the program really fits. So just a quick example, in the past, a lot of sort of promotions and campaigns would be, everyone gets double points. Well, double points for everyone could be not very motivating for some users, and could be, paying users who are already using your card. You could be sort of overpaying them in a way when it comes to reward points. So instead of that, having more of a targeted approach where the data is telling you this is a segment that you should really do a higher value offer to this segment versus the others who still need some recognition, but it might not take as much motivation to get them to continue the behaviors that you want to see. So making decisions around based on data is really important when you're looking at programs, not just the setup, but also ongoing performance and campaigns. And the other, I think, comes back to what I was talking about earlier, is just sort of putting yourself in the seat of being that consumer. So using your own financial institution's card. And if you're not, why not? Because when you're looking at a new program, or even as you have a program, you can always kind of come in and like I said, reinvent it, bring new features in, make the program more attractive. Sometimes I'll have some of my clients ask, how do I compete with the big issuers? And I always think of it in a different way. You have to kind of spin it around a bit and think about, I can compete, but in a different way, because I have that closer relationship with my cardholder or consumer, and that I can bring in maybe things locally, or things that are, kind of meaningful to that financial institution, or that maybe products and services that they can't get somewhere else. So looking at it from more of like a local, kind of closer perspective, instead of trying to compete just on, a national issuer that's doing maybe 5% cash back. Hard to compete. It's kind of we think of it as a race to the bottom on that, in terms of, how high can you go? How low can you go? So look at it in a different way, bring in some unique features that again, kind of tie into that loyalty with that consumer.
Great, great. Well, thank you, Heidi. Appreciate you taking the time to share with us your leading edge insights on developing a successful loyalty program.
Thanks so much for having me. It's really good to talk to you, Larry.
Great. Okay. So in closing, thank you for joining today's Banker's Digest. If you have additional questions for Heidi, please see the links in her bio.